Ever wondered what happens when an election doesn't meet the standards of a democratic process? Let's take a closer look at Zimbabwe's 2023 elections, which were criticized by the Southern African Development Community, or SADC, for falling short of democratic standards. The SADC, as per their guidelines and principles, has the mandate to uphold electoral standards in member countries. And this includes the authority to call for fresh elections when the process is flawed. In the case of Zimbabwe, this is exactly what happened. The SADC's Electoral Observation Mission reported that the elections in Zimbabwe did not meet the revised SADC guidelines for a democratic election. This implies that the process to elect the president, members of parliament, and councillors was flawed. The SADC, after following due processes, resolved that fresh elections should be held in Zimbabwe. It's important to note that the formalities that allowed the elections to happen were carried out correctly, but the conduct of the elections themselves was flawed. That's why the SADC did not call for a repetition of formalities, but for fresh elections. The SADC has the authority to enforce resolutions for fair and transparent elections, and in Zimbabwe's case, they have called for fresh elections. What does it mean for Zimbabwe to have fresh elections? This question has been on the minds of many. Indeed, it's a significant step towards restoring democracy. You see, the previous elections were marred by irregularities. The formalities leading up to the elections, such as the dissolution of parliament, were conducted correctly. However, the actual conduct of the elections fell short of the revised SADC guidelines and principles of a democratic election. This means that currently there are no legitimate holders of the posts of president, MPs, and councillors. These positions are essentially vacant, and this political vacuum is a matter of grave concern. But there's a silver lining. The SADC's mandate is clear. The flawed election process needs to be repeated, not the formalities. So, what's next for Zimbabwe? Fresh elections. This is a chance for Zimbabwe to correct the flaws of the previous election. It's an opportunity to re-establish trust in the electoral process and to reinstate a legitimate government that truly represents the will of the Zimbabwean people. It's a chance for a new beginning, and the date for this new beginning is June 30th. Fresh elections are a chance for Zimbabwe to correct the flaws of the previous election, and June 30th is the day for this new beginning. The international community has a significant role to play in ensuring the success of the fresh elections in Zimbabwe. International observers have been invited to monitor the process, ensuring it is free, fair, and credible. As we've seen in the past, the presence of international observers can deter electoral misconduct and provide a much-needed sense of security for voters. This is a crucial step towards rebuilding trust in Zimbabwe's electoral process. The United Nations, the African Union, the European Union, and other international organizations are all expected to send observers reflecting the global importance of these elections. Their role is not just to observe, but also to report any irregularities or violations of electoral laws. Their findings will be crucial in determining the legitimacy of the election results. This is a vital part of ensuring that the fresh elections represent the true will of the Zimbabwean people. So as we head towards June 30th, the world watches and hopes for a new beginning for Zimbabwe. Scene 4. End Sting. Thank you for joining us on this journey as we explore the intricate dynamics of Zimbabwe's upcoming fresh elections. Your engagement helps to shed light on these crucial issues. If you found this video informative, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share it with your friends. Together, let's continue to unravel the world's most pressing issues. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.